If you are one of the entrepreneurship enthusiasts, you wouldn't have missed Sandeep Aggarwal, the founder of auto-tech e-commerce company Droom on MTV Dropout, the first reality entrepreneurship show. However, the show is not the only reason for Sandeep's phenomenal popularity. Sandeep has disrupted e-commerce space not just once but twice through well-known brands Shopclues and Droom. Let's hear it from Sandeep himself as to what does it take for an entrepreneur to rise and thrive amid such turbulent times. So first thing, how did you manage to achieve success in both your ventures, and how did the idea of Droom occur to you?
I remember this was in April 2014. I was in Silicon Valley. I came up with a long list of ideas which all were part of consumer internet, digital economy. All had a something which I felt very passionate about. All I had a viewpoint that this could be a billion-dollar company. And so I came up with 52 ideas actually. And then I met a lot of people. I applied some kind of screens, in terms of need of capital, gestation period, which businesses can I handle for India while being in USA. I basically picked up Droom, and I picked up Droom because it screened very well on 3-4 things. A, India is the third largest automobile market in the world. So I thought it's a big addressable opportunity. I'm not doing a horizontal e-commerce, but I'm doing a vertical. But I felt lucky that I discovered this one of the largest verticals in India. Second, I thought that while automobile is a 100-year-old industry, buying and selling automobile in India is a very, very antiquated old way of doing things. Third, I saw a need of marketplace and technology to solve some of the consumer pain points. Fourth, I could see challenges of Droom to be, Shopclues plus raised to the power of 10. Like I thought this is going to be very, very exciting.
Is the company doing well on the critical benchmark figures as well?
Now, in the month of August 2017, we sold roughly 7,700 vehicles worth 313 crore rupees. And so we are currently now, just quickly, we are doing 3,700 crore rupees in annualized GMV, growing at the rate of roughly 225% year over year. There are 278 full-time Droomers. We are available in 477 city, town and villages across India. But this is the only office where everyone operates. But we are the largest auto portal, largest vertical e-commerce, largest hyperlocal marketplace, and independent of category, third largest e-commerce company in India. As per our best estimates, I think we stack up third after Flipkart and Amazon.
Well, interestingly, the people who invested with you in Shopclues came back to team up with you when you were forming your second company. So what exactly made these investors come back and team up with you when you were forming your second venture?
I was already talking to one of my potential investors who was also an investor with me at Shopclues that I'm thinking of a next idea. In the beginning, I told this investor that I'm looking for total $350,000. I have 200,000 already secured and I need 150 from you. And after the meeting, he told me that Sandeep, I can't give you 150,000. And I said, here comes another bad news. He said, but I want to actually, this is a fantastic idea. I want to actually invest $500,000. So that was, after leaving Shopclues until this day, honestly, this was the first good news for me. 2 days later, he calls me. I can see his phone number his name on my phone. And he says, Sandeep, you know that we are a public company, we have investors, we have board members and all. I discussed your idea and I thought he's going to drop a bad news. So I was just keeping my finger crossed. He said, I discussed with everyone and guess what? They all loved it. And I wanted to know, would you be interested in accepting 1 million rather than $500,000? And so literally, and then, so I had already 200,000 from the people who were the very first angel investor of Shopclues. So they were the very first angel investor in Shopclues, and they said, we will give you 200,000 provided you get money from at least one more investor. So, and by the way, I had only looked for that much money from them. So when I got this 1 million, then they said, can we also increase it a little bit? I said, sure. So that's how I ended up kind of doing my one round.
A few days back, we heard that you'll be investing in Lionbird, the Israeli firm which invested in your venture as well. And this investment would make you one of the limited partners. So what made you make a transition from being one of the investees to being one of the investors?
I could not spend a lot of cycles in terms of meeting entrepreneurs, giving them enough time and making investments. So I thought, why not I deploy and commit some of my capital to Lionbird. Lionbird's founders are the one whom I know for last 1 decade. They were investor with me in the 2 companies I founded, from the day one, and so we have a very healthy relationship. Obviously, if they invested in me, I thought that they are very, very good investors. So when they were creating this fund, they were very kind to check with me, and I agreed to invest in that. So my global portfolio of direct investment started actually in 2016, but now I thought that market timing may change. I may sometime also get busy. At least let me deploy some of my capital through some of these VCs, whom I have a relationship, and I think very highly of them.
So you were in news some time back for creating a family office through which you would be routing your investments going further. So how did the idea of creating a family office occur to you?
I enjoy meeting new entrepreneurs. I like discussing new ideas. There are a lot of places where I feel I can also contribute because I have done it several times. So because of that, my investment started. Initially, a lot of people who the companies I founded from the ex-employees of those companies will approach me that Sandeep, we would really like you to be involved. This is how it started. So as I mentioned, 2015-16, in fact, I was probably among the more prolific investors in this country, and I was not doing it because eventually I'm seeing that as my next venture. For me, still, Droom is my be all and end all. But I made significant investments in 2016. So I thought that why not to give some structure to it. So that's why I thought, some investments were in my personal capacity, some investments I made from India, some investments I made from USA. So it was a little bit chaotic. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice if I create one family office, I roll up all of my existing investments into that, plus make all the new investments through that. And then I can have a little bit more institutional approach, at least in terms of having a small admin team, a finance team, and a legal team.
But so far you have raised enough capital to project yourself in the leadership position in Indian markets. Are you looking at raising any more capital to fuel your growth going forward?
So, as I mentioned, we raised the first round of capital for Droom was close to $1.5 million, which we raised in June of 2014. And then in October 2014, we raised another $4 million. And then we raised a significant round as a Series A. So first 2 rounds were called Seed 1 and Seed 2. And then we raised Series A in June 2015, which was led by Lightbox. And then we raised Series B in June 2016, which was led by Digital Garage of Japan and Benos and Bnext. And then we raised our 5th round, which is round C, in May of this year, 2017. So we have raised close to $65 million in 5 rounds of capital. And while we are with this capital base, we are not dependent on outside capital, and we have a very favorable unit economics and tight control on our cost. But that being said, I think in back half, maybe from now until end of this year, we might consider raising 1 round of capital more.
Well, you and your company Droom has achieved phenomenal popularity by associating with MTV Dropout. So how did this show happen to you? And beyond commercial reasons, is there anything more to your association with the show?
A lot of our marketing, from our name to our logo to our tagline Bindas Ghoom, it's all about very youthfulness and young. I was 36 when I got an opportunity to finally start something which I wanted to start from my early 20s. So I knew that for almost a decade, I would rehearse like an entrepreneur in a mirror while driving a car, while sitting somewhere and in my dreams. But finally got, it almost took me a decade plus to eventually doing it. So for me, this topic was very close to my heart. And at Droom, we knew that we want to be a youth brand. Now, it was almost became, to answer your question, it became like an intersection of 3-4 things. A, what is our target audience requirement at Droom? B is a topic which is very close to my heart. Third is some of historical association we had with MTV.
Well, thanks for your time, Sandeep. Wish you all the very best in your journey ahead. Well, beyond the glamour of being a serial successful entrepreneur and a media favorite, Sandeep is paving way for launching his company into the e-commerce unicorn club sometime soon. In the fledgling economy where consolidation is driving economics, Sandeep is firm on working solo and taking his company to the top amid all turbulence in personal and professional life. Well, thanks for being with us on VCCTV. Keep watching this space for more updates.